Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to bring you AnusuTest up to the north, and he is playing Zaladar, and his opponent WhiteFear down here to the south playing Majiya. Zaladar's second turn, 2 resources, can't bring out an ally. Majiya's turn, 2 resources, takes out Brutalisk. Zaladar's turn, he has 6 cards in his hand, sacrifices 1, takes out an Infernal Gargoyle. Majiya's turn, 6 cards in her hand, also sacrifices 1, and takes out also an Infernal Gargoyle. That's 2 allies to 1 ally. Zaladar taking 1 damage from the Brutalisk. Zaladar's turn, 5 cards in his hand. Will he sacrifice a card? He does not. He uses Here Be Monsters, getting rid of 1 of Majiya's resources. Zaladar attacks with Infernal Gargoyle, doing 2 damage to Brutalisk, only taking 1 damage in return. Majiya's turn, 5 cards in her hand. Will she sacrifice a card? What will she do? Sacrifices a card, that's 3 resources. Uses her Shadow ability on the Infernal Gargoyle, only doing 2 damage. Majiya also casts an Infernal Gargoyle, attacks the Brutalisk, doing 1 damage to Zaladar. Zaladar down to 26 life. Attacks with Infernal Gargoyle, taking Zaladar down to 24 life. Zaladar's turn. Full hand, 4 resources. Uses the Shadow ability on both of the Infernal Gargoyles, only doing 2 damage to each. Not able to kill it. Zaladar uses the Shadow Font, raising some of his Shadow points. Attacks with the Infernal Gargoyle, able to kill off the Brutalisk. Only Infernal Gargoyles left in the field, 2 for Majiya, 1 for Zaladar. Majiya's turn, uses Lightning Strike on Zaladar and on the Infernal Gargoyle, able to kill off the Infernal Gargoyle. Attacks with the Infernal Gargoyle, taking Zaladar down to 19 life. Attacks again, taking him down to 17 life. Zaladar's turn, 5 cards in his hand, 5 resources, uses his Shadow ability again on both of the Infernal Gargoyles. They are both dead. No allies left in the field. Zaladar uses Thaddeus, doing 1 damage to Majiya. Majiya's turn, 4 cards in his hand. Does not sacrifice anything, just uses a Lightning Strike. 3 damage on Thaddeus, 3 on Zaladar, not able to kill anything. Zaladar's turn, 4 cards in his hand, 5 resources. Uses Thaddeus to do 2 damage to Majiya. Also casts Infernal Gargoyle. 2 allies for Zaladar, none for Majiya. Majiya sacrifices a card, 5 resources, uses Self-Destruct. 5 damage to Zaladar, 5 damage to Majiya, killing off both of Zaladar's allies. Zaladar's turn, 4 cards in his hand, 5 resources, takes out a Plasma Behemoth. That's 1 ally for Zaladar, none for Majiya. Majiya's turn, 6 resources, uses her Shadow ability on the Plasma Behemoth, doing 3 damage. Also casting another Supernova, doing 5 damage to Zaladar, 5 to Majiya, killing off the Plasma Behemoth. Zaladar's turn, 4 cards in his hand, 5 resources, takes out a Fire Snake and a Soul Reaper, healing himself for each dead ally in his graveyard. Majiya's turn, 3 cards in her hand, 6 resources, takes out a Tomb of Knowledge, uses the Tomb of Knowledge to draw an extra card, only has 2 resources left, enough to take out the Brutalisk. Zaladar's turn, 3 cards in his hand, uses his Shadow ability, doing 3 damage to the Brutalisk and to Majiya, not able to kill off anything though. Uses a Death Mage, Thaddeus killing off the Brutalisk. That's 2 allies left for Zaladar, none for Majiya. Majiya taking 1 damage from the Fire Snake. Majiya down to 9 life. Majiya's turn, 3 cards in her hand, sacrifices 1, 7 resources, uses Tomb of Knowledge, uses a Fireball, killing off the Thaddeus. 1 ally left for Zaladar. Zaladar's turn, 5 resources, 3 cards, does not sacrifice anything, just takes out another Fire Snake. Attacks with the 1 Fire Snake, doing 1 damage. Majiya down to 8 life. Uses a Shadow Font, filling up his Shadow energy. Majiya's turn, uses Tomb of Knowledge, has 7 resources, takes out a Dagger of the Unmaking, attacks, killing off one of the no, not killing it off, just sending it back into Zaladar's hand. Zaladar, 5 resources, 3 cards in his hand, uses a Thaddeus, doing 1 damage to Majiya. Also casting a Fire Snake. Attacks with the Fire Snake, doing 1 damage, Majiya down to 6 life. Attacks the Fire Snake back, sending it back into Zaladar's hand. Zaladar casts the Fire Snake right back into the field. Majiya's turn, 4 cards in her hand, 8 resources, uses her Shadow ability on the Thaddeus, not able to kill it, but casts the Thaddeus, killing off the enemy Thaddeus. This is a close game. Can Majiya still pull it? Will Zaladar win this? Majiya attacks with Dagger of the Unmaking, one of the Fire Snakes. Fire Snakes go back into Zaladar's hand. Zaladar has 3 cards left in his hand, 5 resources, takes out a Here Be Monsters, getting rid of 1 of Majiya's resources. Zaladar attacks with the Shadow ability, 3 damage to the Thaddeus and 3 to Majiya. Zaladar casts a Fire Snake, attacks with the Fire Snake, killing off the Thaddeus. Majiya does not have any allies left. Majiya's turn. 5 cards in her hand, 7 resources. What will she do? She sacrifices a card, attacks with Dagger of the Unmaking, getting rid of one of the fire snakes. Uses Tomb of Knowledge, 6 resources left, 5 cards, takes out a Brutal Minotaur. This is gonna be harsh. Zaladar has to get rid of it or win fast. Uses a Mind Control on it. Brutal Minotaur attacks the Majiya, killing the Majiya. GG. Nice game. AnusuTest just barely beating WhiteFear. WhiteFear was hanging on, but it was not enough. Too little, too late. My name has been BeyondCereal, and I will see you next time.